Hi, welcome back. For those who've seen, this is attempt number 2 of trying to start a Blood Bowl 3 game online. First one went pretty bad, triple crash, and ended up with conceding the game. So we're having another go. Let's see where this one gets to, and hopefully we will get somewhere a little bit better. Interesting and exciting changes to the game recently. Let's see where that gets us to. So just bear with me a second while I'm setting this all up. So defensive players, right. Lineman, catcher, lineman, ogre in the middle. What's the catcher doing in the middle? And happy with that. So I'm kicking to start off with. Well, that's going to be interesting. So playing good old Skaven here, probably my least favourite team to play against, mainly because I've consistently struggled with the excessive amount of speed that they have. Right, so chance to kick off. It's got to be a safe kick to start off with. We kick deep, changing weather, sweltering heat. Now, for those who haven't seen, it appears Blood Bowl 3 is now rolling a D6 for weather, not 2D6, and lots of sweltering heats are coming up, and there's the first one. And straight off, my blitzer is going down. Fortunately, just down. He'll be back to play soon. Both down, but that's a lineman against a blitzer, so there we go, armor break, so stunned. That could have been a lot worse. I could just do with a few players not falling over on the line of scrimmage here. I've got speed to try and get round, but it'd be very interesting to see what they're going to do with their play. Oh, no. So that's 2 stunned players. Just having a look at their lineup. They got lineman, blitzer, lineman. Where are the gutters? There's a gutter. There's another gutter. There's another gutter. And they've got a throw at the back, right? So keeping an eye on all of those. Now, what's he going to do now? Here runs the gutter, so they're going to run around this side. This catcher's going to get swamped and probably blitzed by the lineman over towards the sideline. Definitely use the skill. So he's probably going to push me over to the sideline, and I would have thought follow up. Interesting, he didn't push me directly to the sideline. That actually gives me a route out there, but does protect the player a little bit. Now they're going in for the pick up the ball. Fail the pickup. That's a re-roll. On sure hands, picks up the ball. So he's definitely going down the left hand side for me, his right hand side. So that means I'm going to be able to roll over my players this way, bring them up. Obviously having a stunned player there is not great, and there is a definite gap. So forming up the cage, Okay, so he's got a blitzer out on the side here. So let's firstly bring him in there. Blitzer, catcher, thrower, blitzer. I want to bring the blitzer in here. Bring the catcher in here. I'm going to set up a little bit of a defensive line here. That's a lineman. I might be going for the dodge in here so I can break into the cage in a second. I've got the thrower there and I've got another blitzer there. There. I'm going to try and get the ogre in there. Of course, he fails the result, so I'm just going to have to keep him there. What a surprise. Bonehead comes straight in to be annoying. Bring that player over. Bring the thrower over here. Right, I'm going to put the lineman here. No, I'm going to pop the lineman. Where is the lineman going to go? The lineman's going to go in there. I'm going to try and put the catcher there. He's fine. And then I'm going to blitz in on the corner here. Or on the front, really. Oh, actually get a POW. I'm going to stay put because I don't want to be right in the middle there. And that's where I will end the turn. So it could have been a better turn, could have been a worse turn. The ogre going bonehead means I've got this a significant line of action down here. I've got these three players as a sort of diagonal wall, which might be useful. But let's see where he's going to go with that. He's got a blitzer all the way out on the side here. This lineman will be able to get up and go, but I've got to get the ogre in amongst the players. And I'm very reliant on this blitzer here holding the entire sideline up. And have a look at the sidelines, everyone's side, so that's not too bad. So we're both playing with 11 players and no bench, but with sweltering heat we are likely to start running out of players in the second half. Unless we get the changing weather on the kickoff, which would be ideal. I'm hoping there we go. He's taken 1 minute 10 to get going. They've got double both down, so you have to use the re-roll there. He's going to push the blitzer out the way. Probably push him back to here, I would have thought, to create a running lane. Interesting. Pushes him to there because that's going to still leave him marked, and he will follow up. He will allow him to do the second block, though. So he's going to start eating into his time here. He's got an apothecary as well, which we can have a keep an eye on as we go through this. Yes, we'll try with the Inception. Yeah, so he's managed to throw the ball into there and just dodged it out and run away. That went very well. That was annoyingly easy. You see the log there was just adjusting the skills. So we've got a couple of... I failed the interference. Oh, he rolled sixes on that, and we've got all sorts of heat stroke going on. So 4 players off with heat stroke. I've lost the thrower. and a blitzer. That's not good. He's lost a lineman and a gutter runner. I think that's a good trade for him, to be fair. So 9v9. I think we need to grind now with the thrower off, catchers, and the ogre. So the ogre needs to actually turn up in this half. I'm going to probably go with the blitzers on the line up against these 3 linemen. And try and really reduce the numbers. If I can reduce the numbers against Skaven, you're in a good place. So let's put a catcher back here, blitzer up there, blitzer up there, lineman here. That's a lineman, that's a lineman, let's put him there. Catcher, I'm going to put another catcher there just so I can collect the ball. And that's going to be good for the start. So I would imagine he's going to kick deep. He's got no gutters right up against the line, so there's definitely not an easy way to do that. Just checking the clocks as well for those who know you get a 7 minute 30 sort of overtime for each game to play through. Changing weather, so let's see what's happened with the weather. That's the only problem with the perfect conditions, the ball bounces. Okay, so perfect kick and the changing of weather, that's ideal. Let's start with the ogre. He wants to play. This is good. Blitzer. So he's got a very even lineup. We'll just so ogre in with the injury. That's a good start. I'm going to push him over towards the ogre. What I really want to do here is make sure that I can continually feed players to the ogre so I can keep blocking. We'll take that. And I'm not going to follow up here because I want the black blitzer to be free for whatever I want to do afterwards. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go for it there. That's what I'm going to try and do. So, can I pick the ball up? Fail the pickup, so use a team reroll. Oh, for goodness sake. I cannot roll well at all. Double 2s on the pickup. So 2, reroll 2, and the ball's bounced right next to the end zone. So I'm fortunate that he doesn't have players to ring down, but I do have to remember these gutter runners will really chase down the pitch quickly. So I need to get the ball up to my team. I need to get it into a safe zone here. I do not want him picking off the edge of my players at all. So he's going to push that lineman in there. That I'm fine with because it'll mark that guy when he stands up. And so the blitzer's starting to come down the sideline. So I've got catcher, lineman, catcher there. So I don't have a great strength. So this lineman is key for picking off a player. And also, see, that's the worry when you're playing Skaven. You suddenly start to see those gutter runners rushing down the sideline. What I've got here is I've got a gutter runner and 2 blitzers running down. So I have to get this ball up into the middle now. Otherwise, I could be in big trouble. That's going to require some 3+s to do it, because ideally I want a 3+ to the catcher, get it into this catcher and get in behind the ogre, and then I've got this blitzer here who could go off for a run and a blitzer here as well. So I'm, in a way, the more he commits will make it easier if I can get the ball. And I've got two ways of playing this. I can bring players back in case I don't pick the ball up, or I can run the risk. Because it's me, I'm going to bring one player back in case it goes horribly wrong. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 would go there. So I can get up to here. So what I'm going to try and do is blitz in here. The ogre wants to play. That's a good start. I'm going to push him over here because that creates a lane. Now I'm going to put this lineman in here. I'm going to take this 2 die here. I'll push him over there and follow up. Right, that's freed the blitzer up, but has used my blitz. So what I'm going to try and... So I've picked up the ball. That's a good first start. Off we go. Can I pass? Hand the ball back? Yes. So now I can get into there. So I can put this blitzer here. I'm going to put the catcher in there and then bring the ball, the other blitzer in there. And what I've managed to do is create a cage and get away from all the players there. So I've got a lineman and a blitzer on the back, a blitzer on the front, and the ogre on the front. So that's worked out really nicely. I do have some players out in the space, and this catcher is probably a little bit exposed, but it could be a lot worse. That could definitely be a lot worse. So we're into turn 4 now for the Skaven, turn 3 for me. Not a bad place to be for me here. I ideally do not want to score too quickly, because Skaven can definitely score it in 2 turns easily. So I'd be quite happy to reform this cage a little bit further down the pitch, or even half a cage. It depends how many players he pulls back here. So just taking the push, that gets on the ball carrier, which he will follow up unsurprisingly, and does also get the player away from the ogre, which is not the world's worst thing. In the ideal world here, the ogre will blitz in and start to take up some tackle zones as well. Problem with ogres is they are not reliable. So the cage is collapsing a little bit here. So he's brought one gutter back. He's trying to force me to score quickly here, which is really good play. So what's he going to do with the lineman? That's going to be an interesting one. He's going to bring another gutter back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Will he follow up? If he doesn't, that gives me a... He's going to stay put there. Okay. Right. Let's stand him up to start off with. Always do that. Going to bring him in there to take up marks and players. Also give this player a little bit of a backup. I've got the 2 linemen here. No. Take 2 die block here. So that's given him a knockout, which he's now waiting for whether he'll accept the KO. So unsurprisingly, he takes the KO on that. I've got a lineman and a thrower here, so I want this player off. So I'm going to try and blitz here. Now, will the ogre play? The ogre does want to play. That is a good start. And that's going to get the ogre right in amongst the... So I've got a spare lineman over here. The ogre is through there. That's the thrower there. And the blitzer there. Don't really want to take the 1 die. So I think we're going to pop him in there, and I'm going to take the 1 die here, and that's worked out quite nicely. And we will follow up. And then we're just going to dodge him over to there, just to give a little bit more room. So it's a little bit messy here. He is quite exposed, the ball carrier. He can be blitzed by this gutter runner, this lineman, this gutter runner. And he's only a catcher, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a blitz on the ball here. But I'm okay with that, considering where I've been and the detail here, so happy to cover up those players and whack them through. Used a little bit of my time, but it was definitely worth it on that turn, to be honest. Interesting, so he's going to go around the back and mark the player, so he looks like he's going to blitz, block in, get another player on the ball. Another armor break is not good, so that stunned could be worse. Can't really afford to lose any players. That's the worry. I don't want to lose players and then be trying desperately to stop a 2-turn touchdown with sort of 5 or 6 players. I'm going to really struggle against the gutter runners to do that. So I think he's going to blitz in, probably where he blitzes in. Here is either of these 2 squares is going to be the blitz in space. And interesting, he hasn't stood up his players yet, but oh, he's failed a dodge test, so that's great. So that's a turnover. So let's start with the ogre smash. And oh, that's good. That is good. So that's a blitzer. What I'm going to do here is move him round. Then I'm going to blitz in here. So blitzer linemen. So I'm going to form another cage here. Oh, no, I'm doing this in the dangerous way where I do it before I take the movement, but I'm hoping I can pass the judge roll, and there we go. So turn 6, I have my entire team down the pitch, cage is set up, I can score from here. Ogre is in base contact with potentially one player when he stands up. Rolled, so that's the lineman come round. So we'll see where he goes with the player. He can definitely put quite a lot of back pressure on here, and this blitzer is an opportune blitz into the cage to get the tackle zone onto the ball carrier. I wouldn't be surprised if that's where the blitz coming. There's the block here. Getting assists here is going to be tricky with where the ogre is standing. We're just waiting to see what he does here. Of course, this player is going to stand up, which is going to be quite useful just to tag some tackle zones potentially. He's going to stand at 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's probably one square off being able to tag. He'll be able to tag him. Down goes the blitzer. And he's going to follow up here. That's the Skaven blitzer. At least he's standing up, so that could be a lot worse. I've still got the 2 rerolls left, so I've got the ability to hand the ball off as well if I need to. And I've got 2 die here. I've got the ability to roll this round and do a 2 die here. If he doesn't stand up, the blitzer will be ogre potential. So he's dodged away the player there. So he's trying to stop the touchdown here without giving me all the juicy blocks. So in that case, it would be rude not to try and smash a player or two. So this lineman's here to give a 2 die block. That's a definite opportunity. If I can get the ogre to do the block here, that will help. That will be my blitz, so if it goes wrong, that will not be great. So he's dodged him away, so okay. So we'll start with that block there. I'm going to stay put. Breaks the armor. Okay, it's good first start. I'm going to try and put him in there, even though it's a rush. Got the reroll, so there's the POW. So I can bring the player up from the back of the cage now to give me the assist. Oh, I forgot it was a catcher. So I'm going to need to re-roll that. That was bad. That's the classic, don't look at what you're doing first. Win the turn there. So, classic mistake there, forgetting to check which players are in which place. I thought I'd set up an easy 2 die. I had set up an easy 1 die. I've got some options here with the players, but we'll see where we can take it. So this is his turn 7, so reasonably happy to try and score now. Ideally, if I can get some punches in my turn 8, that might be advantageous. The Ogre is having an okay game, not too bad. I'm not boneheaded too much here. That's probably tempting fate. But we can firstly start off and see how that goes. So he's punched the front corner of here, which is not a surprise. I've got the ability to do the handoff. Back blitzer could potentially be a good person to look to score with. Depends where he's going to put this thrower. So he's blocking the blitzer lane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, he can run around the back actually. What I can do here is I can block with the lineman, and then the Ogre can blitz the blitzer. That would move the player off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I could rush, which is probably a better option than the handoff. Taking the dodge, so he's blocked there. We'll stand him up. Catcher on the gutter runner, that's a 1 die. So I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and in. So I've got the chance to score the touchdown here. Now I can selfishly look at where I can try with the block. So let's firstly try and get the thrower back here. That's my blitzer, so that's good. That's unfortunate, but can't have everything. Blitzer on the gutter runner, or the Ogre on the blitzer. I think we take the Ogre on the blitzer, which would also move the player off the ball, reducing. I'm going to use a reroll on that. There's the POW. So that gets rid of the reroll, which is annoying. So I'm going to pull the blitzer round to here. I'm going to pull the lineman into there, and then try the rush into there. All I've got to do is not roll the 1. Oh my goodness. You couldn't Adam and Eve it, and the ball's just bouncing around in the corner. So I think I may have said all I've got to do is not roll the 1, and look where the ball has ended up. Spectacular. Let's not roll the 1. Let's roll it again. So turn 8 here. I can't get the ball, so I will be going smash mad. And that's annoying. What I've seen is that I've forgotten I've got a player all the way down there, so that's a bit of a flaw there. So I will be coming back to that. Is he going to try the throw just for Giggles? Or more importantly, SPP. So he's dodging some players out of the way. So what he's trying to do here is basically get away from getting smacked, which is by far and away the best thing to do when you have an injured team and down with a few numbers. He's going to fail the dodge there. He's going to re-roll it and successfully pass it. He's giving himself a chance here to not get outnumbered. It was one of these Liner and Blitz, so he can't get the 2 die unless he dodges that play around. Fails the armor roll. He's not apothecarying him and he's KO'd. So, turnover, Masters of None, here we go. Let's start with Ogre. Oh, there we go. That's going to bring the turn to an end really quickly. Turnover, end of first half. I've seen some Blood Bowl, yeah, well, we've seen me play a little bit. So, his KO guy has come back. So one of his KO guys came back, so he will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's 9v9 for the second half. That was annoying. To score then would have been ideal. I could have then gone for the 2-1 grind in the second half. Tricky now. Because I've got to get the ball off him and score again, which is not something that a generic vanilla humans do quite well. So next will be trying to go from there. So we just got the line up here. Let's have a look. We've got Blitzer. So we want the thrower who's... Ooh, the Sweltering Heat players came back. Thrower's going into there. The catcher will go there. I've got Blitzer, Lyman, Blitzer and Lyman. I'm happy with that as a start. D3 players can move 1 square in on any direction. There we go, so that's quite handy. So let's start up front. Let's get the block in with the Ogre, and that's a good start. So let's push him over that way. Put him in there. I'm going to feed him over to the Ogre. It's just a plain old lineman, so I'll take the both down there. Break another armor, so lots of stunned players to start off with. So can the thrower pick up the ball? Yes, the thrower can pick up the ball. So this is the worry side, catcher. So, not a bad start. I've got the ball in the cage at the back. I've got my blitzers sort of rolling around. I've got the ability here to, if he can blitz in on this side, I've got two catchers, which is not ideal. But I can run around, get the ball out. The thrower gives me more options for how to pass the ball around, literally to pass the ball around. I can hold my re-rolls as well. That would help. So we'll see how that goes. So we'll see what he's going to do here. So he's going to looks like he's marking up in sort of a column form. Quite a good defensive tactic here. Excuse me, guys. Yeah, just lining up. What he's not going to do is give me any free hits to start off with, which is a sensible way to go about this. So, right, so we've got a blitzer over here, lineman, and a thrower. 1, 2, 3. So for me, the blitzer's the key player. Let's see if we can get the ogre to storm in.
Lying on the field.
So now definitely going to go this way with the ball. Lineman blitzer, so I'm going to just tack him in there. I'm going to use this catcher for the assist. Put him there. I know I can't blitz again, but what I'm trying to do is really upset him here. I'm going to bring him round there and then reform the cage. So firstly, when I like to move the cage by working out where I can move the ball carrier to, and then go from there. Just going to move him over one. Forgot the player on the ground, so I'm going to put the blitzer in there, the lineman there, the catcher at the front, and that catcher at the front. I'm then going to pop the blitzer into there as well. That gives me lots of options for where to go. So he's going to stand up here and try and blitz in on the side. This is the blitzer. I'm in a way, I'm not too upset about it. I don't mind him trying to go in there. It seems a weird tactic to let someone blitz your cage, but it gives me options for where to go. And because the thrower's got the ball, I've got more options other than just the handoff. I've got the handoff, I've got the reforming a cage, I can pass the ball, that blitzer's free now. The ogre can potentially free up a lane. Yeah, I've got a bit more of an option here of where to go. Dodging a gutter runner all the way around. And what he's doing here is, although he's pulling this column round, depending on what he does with this column, I've potentially got the middle of the pitch, so I've already got a cage that can be looked at for there. I mean, he's clearly crashing in on the cage. He's picking the catcher, but he's not going to go in on the ball carrier because it would be next to the ogre there. So I'll take the corner of the cage going down to get it, and now he can't blitz in anywhere else. So the blitzer's holding this corner. This catcher needs to move, but I'm going to look to move him down the pitch. He will now be the passing lane. This column, depending on where that goes, is going to be the key. It looks like he's going to go in for the block as well, so he's not going to have a column to reform either. So that just frees up a gutter runner. You could try and dodge this lineman out. I mean, it's a Skaven lineman. Oh, he's going to go for another block. Interesting. Will he take them both down? He's just going to take the push here. Interesting. Is he going to follow up? I would have thought he'd follow up, because he gets him out of base contact. Right, so that's a lineman, catcher, lineman. So let's stand him up, because that's quite key. He takes out the marking then. Let's do the 2 block here. We'll take the POW and put him there, and we will follow up. Following up allows us to block on the back of the cage here. I'm going to put him back there before anything else goes wrong. Take another POW there. We'll follow that up. So that enables me to free this guy up here. So I'm going to pop him there. That enables me to block here. POW there, and the follow-up. So now I've got a clean lane. I can look at that. Does the ogre want to play? No. Typical blimmin' ogre. So gutter runner, blitzer, they're both now free. Let's just have a look at this. If I move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, go for it, go. Thrower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, go for it, go. So I'm going to take the blitz in here. I'll take them both down because it's a blitzer. And put the blitzer over there. Catcher's going to go there. Thrower is now going to try and throw the ball. That's a good start. And then I'm going to force him to go around there, which at least means he's got to roll some dice and go slightly longer round. So again, because of where we are for the turns, if the ball gets popped out here but down there, it shouldn't be bouncing out. The 1-1 is better than losing 2-1, so not great. Hi Atom, how's it going today? Nurgle team is doing pretty well with the disease. That's great. Playing Skaven is reasonably rare. Yeah, we've seen a lot of bash teams are out there, and particularly at the lower levels, a lot of bash teams. Skaven are a great team to start off with, but you will have a game with Skaven where they absolutely fall apart, and you'll be down to like 3 journeymen quite quickly. And you can see here he's blitzing, getting the blitzer out. He's putting pop the ball out here. probably next to his player, I would have thought would be the way to go. He's absolutely got a follow-up there. And of course I get the KO, so not there. So PS5 is all bash, not great. So he's dropped the ball, that's fine. Ball onto the ground. Of course, the ball's gone onto the ground in between two of his players, which means actually it's got loads of tackle zones on. So that is not great for me. So I'm going to have to be a little bit more creative with how I get this player out now. So I need to free some players up to get some assists out. I may have to look at picking up the ball next term. So, Atom, how is your Nurgle team doing? How have you managed to skill up so far? What have you got? So humans falling off a cliff at high TV. Yeah, humans, great to start with. They've got flexibility. At about 1100, 1200 are a really handy team, depending on how you skill them up. What I'm going for here is the lots of catchers build, trying to really go for some superb catchers. But we'll see where we go with that. Absolutely, you're right. Yeah, a Nurgle team, painfully slow and hard to start with, but as they reach those higher TV levels, there's not a lot to do wrong with a Nurgle team. They really start to just become annoying to play against. Is probably the easiest way of describing it. As this Skaven team are becoming annoying here with managing to dodge all the players back and stand them up. So I'm going to need to carefully mark who's going in and work out what to do here. So I've got a blitzer and a gutter runner and a thrower. So let's always start with the 2-dot. I will follow him up. Stand him up. So this blitz is free. And I'd like to free that thrower up. That's a lineman, so we'll stand put there. That breaks the armor. I'm waiting for the apothecary. You played with the Underworld team, so they are rough in the bash meta, absolutely. You've got to... I mean, Underworld have got some lovely pacey players, but you are asking quite a lot straight off to get them going, and that doesn't help at all. And that really puts the pressure on as a coach, being able to really open up what you can and can't do with them. So you went 32, 8 and 5 with Nurgle last year. I think it's fair to say that's a good record, and you should be pretty pleased with that. What we're going to try and do here is bring the ogre at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's see if we can get the ogre in here. Does he want to play? So he gets away from the bonehead, gets the rush, gets the pow, and in we pop there. So that's a player on the ball carrier. Got table with 15 players last night versus Chaos. That is, I think the phrase is ouch. I'm managing to get some players down. Take one die here just for funsies. Get a POW. We'll push him over to there. Stay put and see where that gets us. Another armor break, and can't get an injury roll. Oh, so Atomy, 18 months into playing and getting on well with Nurgle, so that's really good. What? Sorry, I forgot to end the turn. Classic, make sure you've actually pressed the key. Well done, 18 months in. Do you play tabletop or just on Blood Bowl 3? Yeah, I think there's something about when you're getting smashed like that to just get on with it. There's nothing worse than dragging out a game where you've got 2 or 3 players left and you're just like, just score, get the turns over quickly. In our tabletop league, I had that once with a team. I think it was down to 3 Dark Elves, and when you get to the point where you've got a 9-player foul, it was not fun for both players, to be fair. It got to that point where the opposing coach was very gracious about it. He was like, I'm just going to mark your players up, I'm going to score in. I think we rattled through the last 5 turns in about 10 minutes. Wasn't much I could do. Wasn't too much he could do other than completely smash me. And yes, you can do that if you want to, but definitely in person it's not a fun way to go. So he's running the ball around here, and good old gutter runner running away with the ball. So this blitz is now quite key. He's going to get marked in a minute. So you played your first tournament last month. Well done. 1 and 2 with Necro. Well, first tournament, first win. That's a good start. What was the build for the tournament? For those who aren't aware, we help run the Bonehead tournaments. We've got Bonehead Bowl coming up in November. Looks like we're going to have some new vampires there, so that's going to be great. That's mixed team, so that is all madness. All sorts of fun and detail. That's the blitzer going down on the ground, so that's not great. So the thing that I'm going to have to work out here is how to get somebody onto the ball. I can blitz this guy. I've got a catcher here and a thrower here. So I've got potential to do that. He's really getting in the rush as well. Or a guard heavy team. There's nothing worse than a guard heavy team. I mean, it's a very sensible way to build your team. And I'd probably be looking myself at the blitzers getting guard here. They're handy for that. So he's going for the semi-side cage. So I have a lineman here, so I can come round and free him up. I do have 3 rerolls left, so... Oh, he's getting all the rolls now. This is a problem with humans. They are not fast. So firstly, let's see if I can move the ogre. The first things I want to do is bring as many players back as possible without using rolls, because that's a bad way to go. I want to get him back as far as possible, so he's going to go into there. Next blitzer's going to go into there, so I can bring him back. Catcher. He's going to go there. The thrower. Going to go there. Now I've got the chance to blitz the ball carrier here, so I'm going to take this block first, and that's just a lineman. I'd like to move him over 1 though, so over we go. So not often there. A great way. So going to go Gould Guard and Mighty Blow. That isn't a horribly good way to go with Nurgle. Move this lineman back Actually, let's move him back down there, because then he's free next turn. And so failed the dodge. For those who've seen me play, 1 is my favourite roll number. Passed it, and let's get the 2 die. So what's going to happen here? So I'm going to stumble him into there, follow him up. And I think that's the end of my turn. It made things a little harder here. Yeah, a guard mighty blow Nurgle team is disgusting in the nicest possible way. That's what you want out of a Nurgle team, and go from there. You can set up a beautiful wall, as you're saying there. If you stick a load of guard players close to each other, there's not a lot you can do with that. And then Nurgle, you can try and make it hard for people to position and work through. So really good fun. The one thing that Nurgle can struggle with is a good frenzy team, because you can punch a hole and run through. But that's where guard spam really comes in useful, because the one thing that will freak a frenzy coach out is guard, because you will end up frenzying yourself into a lot of trouble. So he's managed to push the lineman back here. He's not followed it up, but that has given him a lane out for that player. So we are going to play chase the gutter runner down the line, and he's rushing. Oh, look at that. That's like 6 rushes he's had in the last 2 turns, and he's managed to clear them nicely. So well done to him, but I wish that wasn't happening. He's got the all blocks here, so so there's the turnover. Right, so we got a gutter runner all the way down here. Let's work out who won. So the blitzer can get to him. That's a start. So let's do the easy things. Nearly accidentally blitzed there with the ogre. That would have really wrecked my day. So the play is definitely this blitzer down here on the gutter runner. So blitzer. So let's free him up by doing this block here. That's a push, that's fine, and I will follow that up. That enables me to put him there. I will take the 2 die, as I can continue to take the 2 die. I'll push him that way, and I'll follow up. Oh, I may have just done something really stupid and cut the corner. I've made it hard for myself. So what I've done there is not work out the play, and I've made it hard. So I've now got to do a dodge roll along the way. Pass the dodge roll. Pass the pass roll. And I'll take the both down because he's a blitzer. He's prone. Now I've got the... Have I got any more 2 dies? A lineman and a thrower. So take the 1 die. I'll re-roll that because I don't really want an attacker down. I'll tap it with the both down. So Atom's playing Nurgle on Nurgle. Ooh, the disease is all over the pitch, literally. So what he's got here is basically gutter runner, stand up, dodge, pick up the ball, and score. And along the way, he's going to smack a few players. That's fine. Is he going to bring this gutter runner around to get a blitz on the blitz? I'm not sure. I mean, he's got a lineman on blitz. I wouldn't do that because of block. He's going for the push. So one of my favourite plays here, player lined up against the sideline. He's just going to take the 2 die. He's actually going to blitz. Interesting. Oh, he was going to blitz, so he's going to try and get him away from the sideline. I mean, I'm not getting back. Double skull to start off with. A bad way to go. There's the push. And off he goes. So, and my player is badly hurt. So that is bad. Well, it was just the lineman, so he got the dodge. He's failed the pickup. Ooh, interesting. So now gutter runner up against the sideline. And we have an opportunity here. So I'm going to stand him up. We'll pick the thrower up and thrower is going to catch is going to come in and mark there. It's a lineman and lineman. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can get the lineman with the tackle zone on the ball. So what I'm going to try and do is blitz his block here. I really want to free him up. If I can push him to there, which would be okay. I'm going to try and move the ogre. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Over he goes. That's a good start. Oh, meant to follow up there. Got 1 reroll left. So that's 2 rushes. Can I pass the 2 rushes? Yes, I can. So I'm going to try and get the player off the pitch. So just push him off. Don't need to follow up. That's what a reroll's all about, and pop the ball in behind there. Then I'm going to take 2 die there, stumble him back there, stay put 'cause that frees him up. And well, there we go. So I've got 2 turns to get the ball all the way down the pitch. I have a lineman there, I have a lineman there, I have a catcher there, so I would imagine this blitz is going to smack the catcher, which would be the play. He's going to stand these guys up, making it more awkward. My thrower is not in the right position to help me out here. I could potentially try and get the ball to the thrower. But that's not bad. Oh, so Atom, you're rolling like trash, can't pick up the ball. I know how you feel. I have rolled nothing but 1s. Today I failed a rush into the end zone on a 1. Always a good way to upset yourself. And Here I am in the second half with the ball in my own half, desperately trying to get out. So that could have been worse. Both players have gone down to turn over the ball. So I have the chance to get the ball out now. So let's work out. He did stand the players up. So let's see if I can do this. So firstly, the ogre. Let's stand him up. So I've got a blitzer here and a blitzer there. Right, I'm going to blitz in here. Let's see if I can move this player. I'm going to pop him in there, right. So Blitzer's going to give the ball to the lineman, who's now free. The lineman gets the ball. Right, the lineman can now come down to here. Blitzer can go there. Now, where is the least worst place? So he can get this gutter runner to come in at the ball carrier from there. From there, if he pushes it that way, that's the way I want him to go. So I'm going to go there and pop it over. I've left this guy here mainly because it's just better to have him marking than try the one-down door. So Atom, you've received the ball and the ball is still down on turn 5. Yeah, that feels like it's going to turn into a bash game rather than a ball game. But that's sometimes unfortunately the way it goes. So what he's going to do here is he's going to push the player back, which maybe frees him up a little bit, but he managed to... He hasn't really freed up too many players here. He does have this gutter runner, who, as he's a gutter runner, will be able to run all the way back. Oh, there's the attacker down, and wow. Oh, I've forgotten I'd run out of turns. So that's a 1-0 loss. We'll see who got the MVP. The MVP went to the lineman who I think got injured. That would be hilariously typical. Let's have a look. Popped in a couple of rewards. We're going to have a look at those in a minute. Let's have a look at the SPP. So we've got 4 on the lineman and 1 on the thrower. So let's have a look at the team. So yeah, I got 4 on the lineman, 1 on the thrower. The lineman, I think he may have been just badly hurt. So block is a primary. I think it's got to be a randomly skilled. So let's see a random skill. He's going to take Frenzy, one of my more favourite skills. I love a Frenzy player. Frenzy with a plane without block, Frenzy without any guard players. That's going to be a bit of an issue, but could be worse. I've got 35k in the treasury. I could buy a halfling. And I think I've managed to lose a dedicated fan as well, which is always annoying. Let's go and have a look at the rewards. Let's pop into the Blood Pass and see if that's going to work. And I think we've just locked the game again. We've got our 4th error report of the day. So that's very annoying, but what we're going to do is wrap up the stream there. Thanks for those who've joined us. Good luck with the rest of your game, Atom. I hope you can pick up the ball, and if you can pick up the ball, then you never know what you can do with it. If not, smack everyone who's standing around it and enjoy doing that. For the rest of you, enjoy playing Blood Bowl 3. Let's keep the grind going for Underworld, and I'll see you soon.